If you follow this my bread recipe, I promise you will stop buying bread outside. Before I shot this video, I've tried making bread countless times, but it doesn't just come out the way I want it. Sometimes it's not soft enough, sometimes it's not just giving, like, do you get? But look at this. See how stretchy this bread is. See how soft, how succulent this bread is. Guys, this is the best bread I've ever baked, guys, and I'm going to show you the process of doing this without any equipment, without an oven. Let's get right into this video, shall we? Into a bowl, I went in with warm water, emphasis on warm water, and then I added in my yeast and my sugar. What we are trying to do here is to activate our yeast. So this step is actually very optional if you are using an active yeast, but to be on the safe side, I just love doing this. After 5 to 10 minutes, I opened it up and this is what we have. If your yeast sits on top of your water like this, then that means that it is active and it is good to go. But if it doesn't, just pour it away so you don't waste your ingredients. Now that our yeast is ready, we are going to go ahead to mix our dried ingredients. In here, I used 4 cups of sifted flour. Then I added in some milk, added in some salt, and we are going to mix this together. Don't worry, I'm going to leave all the measurements of all the ingredients in the description box. I almost forgot to add my sugar, so I just went in and then I added my sugar. I stirred everything all together and then we are going to proceed to add in our wet ingredients, which is our yeast mixture. When all ingredients are well combined, you can go ahead to mix everything up to get a good dough. And when you mix to the point where you feel your spatula can't continue kneading, you can just transfer the dough to your work surface. Kneading is where the real work is when it comes to making bread. So if you have equipment that can actually make kneading easier for you, you can actually go ahead to use it. And the equipment I'm talking about is a stand mixer or a table mixer, or probably just a food processor. I would always use my food processor to make my bread, but for this particular recipe I said I'm going to knead by hand so that everyone watching will be able to try out this recipe, either they have a food processor or not. I am still going to post another recipe using a food processor, but let's go on with this first. So after kneading for about 10 minutes at first, I added in my margarine. And at this point, you can see that it's a bit messy, but don't fret, it's part of the process. After adding our margarine, we are going to knead for an additional 10 minutes. And by then your dough should be looking well put together and it should be looking soft and stretchy. Stretchy dough gives you a stretchy bread. So if you don't knead well, trust me, your bread won't come out fine. And if peradventure your dough is a bit sticky like this, don't be tempted to add in more flour. All you need to do is just do the exact thing I did, which is fold and slap, fold and slap, fold and slap, and continue kneading. When you do this few times, the dough is going to come together. Now to check if your dough is ready, cut a little bit, stretch it out a bit, and if you can see that it's a bit transparent and you can see through it without it tearing easily, then you know that your dough is ready. Now we are going to get our bowl, and into the bowl we are going to add in a little bit of oil. We're going to square this around the bowl. We are going to add in our dough. Now the next thing we are going to do is to cover this and allow it to sit for about 60 minutes, which is 1 hour in a warm place. 1 hour later, and look at what we have. You can see how our dough has doubled in size. Yes, that means we are good to go. Now we are going to punch it in to get the air out, and we're going to transfer it into our work surface. When baking my bread, I love to give my bread different shapes. So what I did first was to measure the whole dough, which gave me about 800 grams. So I divided 800 grams into two, which is 400 grams each. And for each 400 gram, I'm making two different kinds of bread. So for this one, I'm making my bread in ball shapes, and this 400 gram, I'm going to also divide it into four, which will give me 100 gram each of each ball. You can actually skip this part and just go ahead to shape your bread anyhow you like, but this is just how I just want to do mine. So this is all four of my balls, so each of these is 100 gram. And the next thing I'm going to do is to shape them into individual balls. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, drop meaningful comments, turn on your post notification so you can know when I upload more videos like this. And if you are a returning subscriber, I say a very big thank you. Thank you for showing love, and thank you so much for coming back. Now that our balls are ready, I just lined up this my fry pan with a parchment paper, and then I put my balls inside. Remember, if you want to give this shape, you have to make sure that there is enough space between each balls, because these balls are still going to puff up, so there needs to be space for them to actually spread out. So we are going to do that, and then we're also going to cover for another 40 minutes. This is the second half of our 400 gram. So I'm also going to divide these into 200 grams each, because this one I want to make it as a loaf bread. So I divided 400 gram of the dough into two, which gave me 200 grams each. Then I went in to roll this out until it's time to actually turn it into loaf. Now there's this bread I do buy in a pharmacy close by. It's a chocolate bread, but not just chocolate, it also has chocolate spread in the middle. And I've said that one day I'm just going to make mine just like that. So I got this particular chocolate spread and I was like, let us make something similar. I don't even know if I'm going to get it or not, but I was willing to give it a try. So I just did what? I just put it anyhow, because this is exactly how the chocolate spread actually comes out in the bread. So I just decided to just copy them and see if it is going to turn out good. So after adding my chocolate spread, I'm just going to go ahead to roll this dough. And when you are rolling your dough, don't forget to actually pinch it. This is actually going to prevent too much air from being inside your bread. Make sure you roll it tightly just as I did. And when you are done, make sure to pinch the edges so that everything can be well knitted together. Now we are going to get our loaf pan. I'm going to put in some oil at first, then I'm going to add in some more flour. This process is to prevent the pan from sticking with the dough when the bread is ready. So after doing that, we are just going to put the dough into the pan. And then I went in with the second loaf and then I added the chocolate spread. Just did something different from the first one to see which is going to turn out better. And then I proceeded to also roll it in, and then we get the bread ready. So when we are done with this stage, the next thing we are going to do is to put the bread somewhere dark, and then we are going to let it proof again for another 40 minutes. It's almost 40 minutes, so we are going to prepare our egg wash. For our egg wash, we are going to be making use of 1 egg and water. If you don't want to use water, you can also make use of liquid milk. Now see our bread after 40 minutes. You can see how well risen all bread loaves are. Now we are going to egg wash this, and the purpose of egg washing is so that we can get that shiny brown texture the bread gives. So this is actually a brush I use for my pastries. I don't know how I lost my silicone brush, so I just had to do with what I have at home. So I'm just going to use this to egg wash the bread, and then we are going to be ready to bake. Now you can make use of anything to bake. You can make use of your oven, you can make use of your air fryer, but like I said, I want this recipe to be easy for anyone to actually replicate. So we are going to be making use of our stove. While your bread is proofing for the second time and it's almost 40 minutes, it's best to put your pot on fire and allow it to preheat for about 10 minutes. Now I transferred my bread into this pot, but I realized that it is too small. So I'm just going to go off camera to preheat a bigger pot and then add it into it. So this is what we have, and then we are going to cover this and allow it to bake for about 30 minutes. And ta-da! See our yummy fluffy bread. Now there is one trick I want to give you guys. When your bread is actually ready, allow it to still sit in your pot for about 10 minutes so that the top will not crack. You can see how smooth this top still looks. That's because I allowed it to rest before bringing it out of the oven. Okay, so that way the top is not cracked, is not peeling, and is not doing anything. All right, so that is just it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You see this bread, try it just the exact way and it's going to come out very fluffy. Very soon, just very soon, I'm going to drop another recipe where you can actually use your food processor to actually knead your bread. So if you are team soft life, I cannot use my hand to knead bread, don't worry, Sissy got you. Look at this bread. Go do this bread now. Don't you want to be able to make something like that? So guys, that is going to be all for today. And if you are still watching now and you have not clicked the subscribe button, waiting I do you now. wetin I do you. Subscribe button doesn't cost a penny. Just click it. Turn on the post notification. Follow my videos. That's the only way you can support me. My friend, I know you love this video, so show it. And that is just it, guys. I'm going to be seeing you another time next week. Cece loves you. Bye bye.